hello KPIS. This is something I wanted to do. I didn't know when I would do it, but I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel and send you the link, and I hope all you watching. I'd like to say hello to Ellie and Melody and Mail and my friend Pluto. And also my other class, I'd like to say hello to Elijah and Win-Win, Robert, and Pat, and Pim. I miss you all. I know you're all confined in your house, and I know how it feels. I'm really antsy, and I want to get out there, and I'm sure when you're your age, you really feel it having to try to stay home. It's pretty difficult. In my lifetime, I've never lived through anything like this. It's truly frightening, and really frightening because of my age. When I go out, you can't believe the paraphernalia that I wear to protect myself. I'm afraid of getting one molecule of this in my esophagus or lungs, and it might really, it's very quite serious, be the end of me. At your age, you're a little bit more protected, but I wouldn't be a hero with this. This is quite a dangerous disease that's going around, and it's a completely new experience for you to live through something like this, but you will remember it in the future. And I hope I will remember it in the future because I'm being so extremely careful. You won't let me show you what the mask I wear looks like. This is a biological mask. It's better than most hazmat people. Most doctors don't have something of this quality. I wear this when I go outside, and I wear these protective glasses. And I know that this is very serious. So when I have to go out to get food, I look like a spaceman with plastic gloves on, because if one molecule of this gets into my esophagus and respiratory system, with already compromised health, I probably won't make it. So it's really, really frightening to me. A lot of young people think they're invincible, and there's less danger when you're younger, but at my age I have to be super careful, and it will be an experience that I will never forget. You will never forget this. We're all trapped at home. I know you feel very confined, but there are some good things because I really get a chance to talk to you and tell you how much I love you all. Number one, I think about Ellie and Melody and Pluto and Mail in my first period class. I think about you, Elijah, the little poster child, and Win-Win, and Robert, and Pat, who's very quiet and polite, and wonderful Pim, who's so incredibly hardworking and creative. And my ninth grade class, my God, you're all like goldsmiths. I am so amazed how sophisticated you all became. And I watch you do the most delicate, precise, skilled work. And I am so proud of you that I've made videos about you, and you've probably seen them on YouTube. You're all amazing. And sometimes when I have a guest in the room, or another teacher from the school comes into the room, and I watch them go over to you and talk to you, and I'm secretly listening to you, I want to hear what you say. Well, you're so smart. You know so well what you're doing. You're in command, and I feel, my God, I did a great job with this class. This class is self-motivated. It moves along by itself. You don't need me to act like a cheerleader in the background and make you work. You're all so into your work, and it's so beautiful. To me, this is what education, it's a model of education and what education should look like in every class. So that ninth grade class of mine, you just blow me away, and as you do all the guests and teachers and anybody else who's curious who walks in, and parents. I listen to you guys explain your work, and you know so well what you're doing. and I feel so proud of myself in some ways. Not that I can take any credit from you. Anyhow, we're all confined, and this virus is quite serious. And of course, I'm frightened just like you are. This is a new experience in your life, being trapped at home. And I'm just having the pleasure of talking to you on the internet. I'm going to, what I thought I'd do with this video is show you about 9 or 10 pieces that I really love. And I want you to hear me explain why I love them. And when you love something, that's what I want to hear from you. I want to hear how you explain why you like something. To me, that articulateness of you explaining an aesthetic or something that hooked you into a piece of art is so important.
Live video.
It's very important. I'm going to cancel this right now. I'll call you back in a few. I'll call you back in a minute. I'm making a video. I'll call you right back. So what I'm going to do now is take you through some pieces that I really love. Try to explain them to you, and when you find some pieces that you really like, it's very important to me how you explain why you like them and what makes them so successful for you. Artists need to learn how to criticize their own work and need to understand why they're in love with pieces, and I'll do the best job I can. I'm not going to labor on it. I'm just going to show you some slides and tell you why I love the pieces that I have hundreds that I love, but I'm going to choose around 10 to talk about. And I would like
You'd think that it would be pretty obvious why I love these pieces. Number one is simplicity. This topaz is trapped in a thick silver circle, and it becomes the focal point. And the two shapes are so unlike that there's a beautiful connection with focal point. This earring was designed by this young lady, and I think it's just astonishing. It's the profile of a face in her ear, if you look very carefully. And all her jewelry is based on this design, a simple wired design. It is just beautiful, and it's elegant, and it would sure give somebody a pause to thought. Here's a different style, a hanging profile, which is one wire and an eye, and there's emotional content. She's done necklaces too that have emotional content that are simple and silver, just an undulating silver line that tells the story. Very beautiful. This woman is absolutely an amazing designer, and she's a new young designer. Here's a flat piece of metal with some cuts in it that are so precise as to make the face look three-dimensional, even though it's just a wafer of metal. Bringing different metals together is part of what we learn in jewelry, and the hammered finish and using stamps. This looks like a piece of antiquity, but it's layered metal, a ring on top of a central part. Believe it or not, this is made out of a U.S. penny, a Lincoln penny, and it's so whimsical. It's turned into a little bird or chicken here with hanging feet. This design is absolutely classic and modern. The shaft was split, and two sides come in on an angle, and the other shaft supports the bottom of the bezel. Another classic idea, which is simplicity and has a modern essence to it, and the gold ball just lays on the wider part of the shank, and it's so beautiful. You would wonder who wouldn't have thought of that. These are small concave dishes made out of copper, and they're soldered to a gold ring. And again, the square ring with the rounded dishes is a beautiful parody. Taking little beads of all sorts of sizes and putting them through a shaft and suspending them over a band or a ring is a very beautiful idea, and they all move. There's a kinetic part of that. Decorating silver, even a medallion like this with just different levels of wire and sheet, is just beautiful, and the texturing and richness. Taking simple wire to make two earrings and flattening it in various locations gives it a grace and beautiful. And again, it's a very simple design, but I want to own those earrings. They're beautiful. This ring, ever since I saw it, I really loved it. I like the fact that it's open and it has this dark flower that's been oxidized on it, and it symbolizes a plant, and it's very beautiful. Can you imagine this ring flattened out and the wisdom of the person who knew that the two sides were going to come around and pass each other like that? A really classic and simple modern design. And this is what I'm trying to get the kids into thinking about. These are Art Deco earrings. They're based on a circle and a semicircle and use small silver struts that are soldered onto a copper field. And they're classic earrings, and they would always be beautiful. They're timeless. Here you have a tension set up between a flat piece of metal, but negative and positive spaces that are strategically cut out and set up a tension. And it's a very beautiful piece and leaves the mind thinking. This piece is almost like a little story. It looks like a woods with a fox running through it, a gold fox. And the trees have elements of gold in them, and the piece is like looking at a little storybook. These two fish, amazingly simple, but one of the beautiful things is that one fin is bent out over the top of the fish, so it lives between two-dimensional and three-dimensional. These are such great ideas. I always love elegance, and you can't find earrings that are more elegant than this. The sign of life, cut out in this half crescent moon shape, and these earrings are stunning. These are some of the things that I know you will love, and you should start to think about design and making things.